Great. How are you?
Are you ready for volleyball?
I'm always ready for volleyball, but tonight's,
It's
maybe
special.
a little extra ready.
And it is the Rex's Plumbing pregame show, and we do want to say thanks to Rex's Plumbing. In fact, make note of all of our sponsors as we move along through the evening here. This is what you work for, Derek. All season, you work toward this ultimate goal of hitting the tournament trail and seeing how deep you go.
It's hard to believe that we are in this, tournament trail beginnings here, that the season, the regular season has come to a close, and that we are beginning that tournament play.
It is that time, and it's win or go home. This is round one for the ladies here this evening. Winner of this game will advance to, right back here, Thursday night.
Thursday night, you bet.
So, and they'll take on the winner of Clarinda Clark, which is taking place. All of the games across the region, across the state, start at 7 o'clock here. So that's where we're at. It's tournament time. What are you expecting here, Derek?
I'm expecting a tough match here with Harlan. The Tigers, we beat them when they last time they played here at home, 3-0, but they were close sets. The Tigers also faced Harlan at a Glenwood tournament earlier in this season, and the Tigers were victorious in that, 2-0 to none on that also. So I think it's going to be a good match. Again, Hawkeye 10 opponents.
Yep.
You're not, so these teams are familiar with each other. They have a lot of history, playing each other on the court here with that conference connection. So it's just it's almost like it's another regular season game, but we are
It's
in
tournament
that.
time.
Yeah, there's no game after this one for one of these teams right here.
Absolutely. So thanks for listening here on KCSI. We are streaming tonight. You can go to our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, search for KCSI Radio. You can watch it with us there. Derek, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back to the Rex's Plumbing pregame show, we will have you give us a look at the final Hawkeye 10 rankings, and then we'll start from there, and we'll be back after these messages. All right. Yes. To Red Oak Regional volleyball action here in Red Oak this evening, and it is the Rex's Plumbing pregame show, and we do want to say thanks to Rex's Plumbing. Derek, regular season has come and gone now. We're into post-tournament or into tournament time. Talk to me about the final Hawkeye 10 rankings, how they shook out.
Yeah, you bet. In the Hawkeye 10, Lewis Central finished on top, 10-0, followed by Glenwood at 9-1, Kemper at 8-2, then Red Oak in the fourth spot at 6-4. Following Red Oak was St. Albert, also at 6-4. Then Clarinda, Shenandoah, Harlan at 3-6, Atlantic, Denison, and Creston. And that is your final Hawkeye 10 rankings there for this past season.
So, and some of the pairings, we've covered some of the pairings here. Are there any games? I mean, obviously you're looking with intent at that Clark Clarinda game, because that's immediately the winner of those two games will play back here Thursday night. Other games you're interested in, Derek?
You know, there's a lot of games in Class 1A Region 3 happening this week. Also, that includes a lot of our, our listening schools with the Stantons, the East Mills, Sydney, St. Albert, Bedford, Griswold, Lennox. All of those schools have matchups in that Class 1A Region 3 bracket coming up this week. We're going to see Trainer in action tomorrow night against Underwood. Shenandoah is also in action tomorrow night against Tri-Center. Carroll Kemper plays tomorrow night. What else do we got here? We've got Glenwood playing also on, looks like they got a first-round bye, so they're playing Thursday in their bracket. So a lot of teams we faced in the regular season, they're on that tournament trail, and this is a big week of volleyball games for all of those schools, and we're going to watch it with some enthusiasm.
If you're a volleyball fan, this is a really fun time.
It is a fun time, absolutely.
If you're a volleyball fan and a dad, this gets to be a really stressful time.
A little stressful, and then you throw in, volleyball dad, radio co-host, kind of gets a little bit.
Derek is a little stressed this week.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's all fun, and it's pretty fun in our house. I know the kids. One of the things we talk about with them being successful is going out and having fun, and I think they're kind of to that point in the season where they are having fun. They had a great team kind of bonding team meal theme last night. Jocelyn was showing me a little bit about that. So, a great way for them to just hang out and have some fun, and hopefully that translates.
One of the really good things about athletics and team events and extracurricular activities is working within a team, working within a group. All of these girls have worked together through some really highs and some lows and some adversity. Those are all good things, and those all go to real life, Derek.
Yeah, absolutely.
People aren't always happy with what you do in real life, and sometimes they, you have to deal with that.
Yeah, and you're not always gonna win, and you're not always gonna, do the right thing. Sometimes someone's gonna tell you what they think about that too. So you're
yes, they are.
You got to be able to deal with that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to take a break, Derek, and we'll come back to the Rex's Plumbing pregame show and talk about the Bound matchup and kind of preview what's going to happen here this evening. We'll be right back after this. pregame show. Aaron West and Derek O'Neill. Melanie running all of our production software this evening. Thanks to her for doing that. Okay, Derek, stack these two teams up. When you line them up, look at them statistically head-to-head. What do you see?
Head-to-head, let's look at the season leaders for Harlan and Red Oak here. In assists, you have Macy Mueller for Harlan at 6.0 per set. Merced Ramirez at 4.5 for the Tigers. Kills, we have Aubrey Shrijo, 1.6 per set. For Red Oak, it's Marley Gray at 2.5. Total blocks, Erica Rust for the Harlan Cyclones at 50. For the Red Oak Tigers, it's Carly Jenkins with 27. Digs, we have Samantha Einesen at 2.8 per set to Nicole Bond on the Tigers side at 4.4. Serve aces, we have 0.4 per set with Samantha Einesen again to Merced Ramirez for the Tigers, also at 0.4. Overall season stats, just looking at combined everybody's stats on the team, the Tigers are going to lead in assists per set at 9.9 to 7.5. They're going to lead in kills per set at 10.5 to 7.8. They're going to lead in kill attempts per set at 29.5 to 27.6. Also going to lead in kill efficiency with a 206 to a .806 for the Cyclones. The Harlan Cyclones are going to take the Tigers there in blocks at 1.8 per set to the Tigers 1.0. Digs per set comes out to the Tigers at 15.3 to Harlan's 13.1. Serve aces per set is 1.9 to 1.5 for the Cyclones. Serve successes per set, we're at 18.3 for the Tigers to 16 for the Cyclones. And serve attempts per set, again to the Tigers, 20.4 per set versus the Cyclones, 17.5 serve attempts per set. When we're looking at the past 5 matchups here, Harlan, let's see. I just have the Tigers here. For the Red Oak Tigers, they were in action this weekend at a tournament in Winterset against some really good teams. Winterset, Greene County, Webster City, and Gilbert were all wins for the Tigers. The Tigers took each one of those 2-0. Made it to the championship there at the Winterset tournament against Norwalk. Norwalk is I think a 9th-ranked Class 4A school, and the Tigers went down. They lost 2-1 on that. It was a close match and very encouraging for the Tigers on this weekend there. Overall against the Cyclones, the Tigers are 13-6. So Harlan takes that in the overall matchups there in our bound stats. Really, though, it's been mostly Red Oak from around 2016 on as far as the matchups go. And these teams did play each other 2 times earlier this season, once at a Glenwood tournament and then our Hawkeye 10 game here in Red Oak.
The 2 times they've met in play this year, Red Oak has come out on top in both of those previous matchups this year.
Yes, Red Oak, our Hawkeye 10 matchup was 3-0 here at home, and then in the Glenwood tournament, the Tigers were 2-0 against Harlan there at that Glenwood tournament.
All right, it's the Rex's Plumbing pregame show, and we do want to say thanks to Rex's Plumbing for being a sponsor of our pregame show, and they are at just about every Red Oak volleyball match that takes place. Good fans and good supporters of the Red Oak Community Schools, so thanks to those folks. Rex's Plumbing, they are our pregame sponsor. We're going to take a break, and we will come back after this and get Derek's thoughts on tonight's matchup. Welcome back to Red Oak Orange Gymnasium, Red Oak and Harlan. This is round one action. You must win to advance. The winner advances down the tournament trail, and we'll play right back here Thursday night. The loser goes home. Season's over. Derek, whenever you look at these two teams, give me your thoughts on tonight's matchup.
Yeah, I think as in all sports, it's really tough to beat a team 3 times in a row in the same season. And so, if you're Harlan, you're looking at that stat and you're saying, we played Tigers pretty tough here in our Hockey 10 match. Maybe we've got something else we can show them. If you're Red Oak, though, you're thinking, we've beaten Harlan. We've not lost to them in a long time. We're gonna keep up our momentum. We're gonna have fun. We had a great tournament weekend. We just need to keep doing the things that have gotten us in our momentum and our flow to get us to this point. That's short-term memory. If you make a mistake, it's setting and feeding those middle hitters regularly that Angie talks about in the post game, and making sure that all of those hitting options are getting involved into the game. I think the thing that we've seen maybe Red Oak struggle with over the season is mistakes from the service, the service line. So if they can minimize that, I think that'll be important. I also think trying to keep in system. We've also heard Angie talk about that in her post-game interviews, of just when the opposing team is serving and Red Oak is not able to get that 2 or 3 scored on the set, meaning the setter has 3 options, 2 options. If we're out of system and we're passing the ball, the setter has to run to it or call for help. If we're not able to get into system, that's difficult for the Tigers to achieve the success that they need out there, whether it's the kills, the kill attempts, all of those.
Derek, really when it boils down to it, this is where you lay it all on the line.
Yeah.
I mean, you put everything you got in this game to win the ball game. If you're a senior, potentially your last volleyball game.
Potential. There's seniors on both sides of the court here too. So,
yep.
You kind of feel for both of them. We've both been in that position with, kids who have been out here as athletes on the court here and coming to their final game as seniors. And, you feel for those kids that have put in all of that work for all of the years. And when you talk about volleyball work, right, these guys, they play a spring club usually. Then they do some sort of summer league with, Sunday league kind of games. And then they're in the gym starting practice first week of August. So it's, they play pretty much year round in order to get to this level. And for some of them, this is their last game out here.
Yeah, this game will end the season for a few players tonight. Without a doubt. Quick break, and we'll come back and look at the lineups right after this. It's the Rex's Plumbing pregame show. Back to Red Oak Orange Gymnasium. It is the Rex's Plumbing pregame show. Derek, lineups for tonight. Who are we going to be talking about here?
For the Harlan Cyclones, their starters will be Cammie Stark. We will see Aubrey Schwiezo, number 5. We'll see number 6, Samantha Einesen. Number 7, Hope Preston. We will see number 8, Erica Rust. We will see number 9, Ava Monson. And number 14, Macy Mueller. I think number 11, Emerson Reichel will also get a little bit of playing time. Non-starters include number 4, Carly Tornaton. We have number 10, Kate Kesters. Number 12, Ellery Nelson. And number 16, Catherine Fa. Harlan is coached by Elle Kreese, Josie Jacobson, and J.C. Stewerman. For the Tigers, we are going to see Olivia Boswell, number 2, a senior, Keely Jones, number 4, number 5, Alexis Joint, number 7, Merced Ramirez, another senior, Number 8, Emily Siebernecker. Number 9, Marley Gray. Number 10, Jocelyn O'Neill. Number 11, Carly Jenkins. Number 12, Kennedy DeVries. And number 17, Nicole Bond. Some of the non-starters for the Tigers include number 1, Brinkley Salick. Number 3, Haley Ryberg, also a senior. Number 6, Tori Wendt. Number 11, Marielle Ramirez. And number 15, Ellison Johnson. The Tigers are coached by Angela Montgomery, Sharon Allison, and Dana Ramirez.
And we're going to have our national anthem in just a few minutes, Derek. Should be a good volleyball game. Good crowd here this evening for first round. And I think should be a lot of fun here this evening. We're going to step away, take a break, and we'll be back after these messages. It's the Rex's Plumbing pregame show. Okay, what were you doing? To the Rex's Plumbing pregame show. It is just about time for our national anthem. Mr. Olson, I see, stepping up to the mic here, and we are going to step away from the national anthem, and we will be back after these messages. For the Rex's Plumbing pregame show, we do want to say thanks to all of our sponsors. Particular thanks to Rex's Plumbing for being a sponsor of our pregame show. Mr. Olson was on point tonight, wasn't he, Derek?
Dang, that guy is good.
He just he has it dialed.
It's almost like we were watching the Super Bowl there.
I mean, that's kind of how I felt about the whole thing too. So, players are on the court, and it is just about time for volleyball here in Red Oak this evening. Going to go with the standing method, Derek?
I'm going to start standing, you know.
You tell me your iWatch, your Apple Watch is telling you to breathe and to calm down, or check your heart rate or something, Derek.
Breathe and stand.
Breathe and stand. That's what it was telling you to do.
Yes, it was.
Well, both are good things to do, Derek.
So take a deep breath, and I'm going to stand up and get ready to call out some Arlington Place block sponsors and Milestone Financial Ace sponsors, an Alley Pointer Maquetto Architecture Kill sponsor, a Body Basic chiropractic match adjustment before we get to the end here.
You know, I could use an adjustment right now. I need to get Dr. Byer. I need to have him work on me a little bit.
You should do that. I think you should live stream that.
You think?
I think that'd be great.
You think so?
Yeah.
A live stream of my adjustment.
You bet.
Here we go. Set number one. Back to serve will be Einison. Low taps the top ribbon. DeVries is there. Set from joint to Jenkins. And we have a net violation on the Cyclones. Tigers lead set number one, 1-0. Back to serve will be Nicole Bond. She's the libero for the Red Oak Tigers, has been all season. Middle portion of the court, into the back row. It's going to be served by Schwezo. Up front, set goes to Schwezo, and we're going to have a kill. That's going to be an Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill by Schwezo. And it's tied up at 1 apiece, set number 1. Back to serve for the Cyclones is Monson, Ava Monson. Serve into the back row. Bond passes it to the net. Right at the net. Point goes to the Cyclones. Could we give that as an ace, Derek?
We could, yeah. You bet.
That'd be a Milestone Financial ace. Back to serve is Monson. Into the back row. DeVries to Ramirez. She passes it up front. Free ball across the net. Jones into the back row. Pass to the net to Mueller. Hit across by Rust. That's an Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill. And it's 3-1. Cyclones lead, set 1.
Harlan is playing good here, staying in system and kind of keeping the Tigers off their system, a little out of system.
Ava Monson, a senior, 5'9" senior again, back to serve into the back row. Bond lets this one sail long, and the point goes to the Tigers. 3-2, Cyclones lead. Coming into the game is Boswell taking a seat joint, and Ramirez back to serve for the Tigers. 3-2, Harlan's lead, set 1. Ramirez served low across the net. Dug out. Set comes from Mueller. Hit across by Preston. High. Free ball across the net. Or actually from the back row, it's Bond, but it sails wide. Point Cyclones. 4-2, Cyclones lead, set 1. Coming into the game is Tornaton, and back to serve is Tornaton. She's a sophomore. Carly Tornaton, 5'4" sophomore. Into the back row, DeVries, Bond, free ball, gets it back across the net, DeVries. Set goes to Schwezo, she hits it out, point Tigers.
Let's see if the Tigers can use this to their advantage here. Got a couple of players coming in to the game. Emily Siebenecker and Marley Gray for the Tigers.
Jones and DeVries take a seat. Siebenecker back to serve, as always. Serves from the middle portion of the service line. Received, passed up front. Set from Mueller. Hit by Schwezo. Or Einesen, rather. Hit across by Schwezo. That time, it's out, and point goes to the Tigers, and we're all tied up.
Yeah, good job by the Tigers there to let that one go and keep the rally going here.
4-4, set 1, all tied up at 4. Siebenecker back to serve. Into the back row, received by Einesen. That's Stork, hit across by Tornaton. There's Boswell.
Yeah.
There's Boswell with an Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill.
That was a great back set by Merced there to Olivia on the right side, and Olivia just smacks it down. She's been really good since they moved over to the right side there in that spot.
5-4 is our score. Red Oak leads set 1. And a serve. Milestone Financial ace serve by Siebenecker.
Yeah, she's soft, just kind of dialed it back a little bit and kind of caught Harlan off guard there.
This one low, trying to switch it up there. This one low and into the net. Point goes to the Cyclones. Coming into the ball game is Reichel. Taking a seat, Schwezo. Reichel serves. Siebenecker to Bond. Hit across by Gray into the back row. Stork. Up front it goes to Mueller. Free ball across the net, Rust. Hit by Boswell, tapped and off of the hands of the Cyclones. Point goes to the Tigers, 7-5, set 1, Red Oak leads.
Yeah, the Tigers again, just a little out of system there. Got the ball over to Olivia. She hammered it back to the corner. Harlan touched it and point for the Tigers.
7-5, Red Oak leads. O'Neal to serve into the back row. We're going to have a free ball across the net. Einesen, Gray, set to Jenkins. She pushes it across. Tornaton is there. Set to Einesen. She hits it hard. Falls to the floor, and the point goes to the Cyclones. 7-6, set 1. Back to serve for Harlan will be Cammie Stork. She's a senior, a 5'7" senior for the Cyclones. 7-6 is our score. From middle portion of the service line in the back row, Bond passes it up front. Ramirez set to Gray. Hit out. Point goes to the Cyclones. We're tied up at 7. Stork back to serve. Cammie Stork. She is the libero for the Cyclones. Good player. Siebenecker lets it sail and just clips the sideline, Derek.
Just called, that line judge didn't use my theory there. But, that was.
And your theory is what, Derek?
When in doubt, call it out. But she was very confident that was in, so no doubt at all in that play. So.
8-7 now. Harlan regains the lead. Stork into the back row to Siebenecker, passes it to the net. Ramirez set to Gray. Hit by Gray. Stork is there, kind of shanks off of her hands. And the Cyclones can't chase it down, and the point goes to Red Oak.
And that was a good job by Marley to hit the line for the Tigers there on that outside position. She adjusted well, and Harlan couldn't handle it.
Tied up at 8 apiece now. Been a number of lead changes already in set number 1. Into the back row, Stork. Set goes to Monson. She hits it across. It's out. Point Tigers.
Yeah, now Red Oak's kind of getting to Harlan the way they were getting to the Tigers earlier here, just keeping them a little out of system, free balls across the net.
There is Joint right to the net, tapped down by Gray. Cyclones chase it, but they can't get it across, and the point goes to Red Oak, and it's 10-8. Red Oak leads, set 1. Over Harlan. Round 1. Tournament trail, postseason play. Joint into the back row, misses out. Point goes to the Cyclones. Nice heads-up play by the Cyclones.
And as you mentioned, just kind of rally scoring, back and forth here, keeping it within 1 or 2 points of each other, depending on who's serving.
And back to serve Mueller. Mueller serves hard, but it's low and into the net. Point goes to Red Oak. 11-9 is the score. Into the game, Jones taking a seat, Siebenecker, and back to serve is Gray for Red Oak. Marley Gray. Into the back row, Stork. Up front, Mueller. Hit across by Preston.
Yeah,
point Cyclones.
Tigers were up there with the block, had their hands on it, and it just kind of tapped it enough that it caused our back row defensive specialists to just hesitate a little bit. But
scores the 11-10. Red Oak with the lead in set number 1, and back to serve is Einesen. Samantha Einesen, a senior hitter. The point sells long. Point goes to the Tigers. 12-10 is our score. Set 1. O'Neill into the game. Jenkins takes a seat. And Nicole Bond back to serve. Nicole is the libero for the Tigers. Middle portion of the service line into the back row. Passed up the net. Mueller set over on the right side. Hit hard by Monson. And the Tigers.
That was...
keep it alive and get it across the net.
That was great reaction defense by Red Oak defense. Jocelyn popped it up, and I think Merced even tapped it over, and just kind of a reaction. It hits the net and falls on the side of the Cyclones there. But they're what?
12-11 is the score. DeVries to Jones, and hit the net. Blocked, Derek?
I think it was just hitting the net there. I was kind of confused on why Harlan was serving. But
I thought the point was to the Tigers, but apparently not. Tied up at 12 apiece.
Yeah.
Monson back to serve. Ava Monson, a senior. Into the back row. DeVries to Joint. Set goes to Ramirez on the right side. She just taps it across. Hit across by Mueller. Ramirez, Joint, set to Jones. Hits it across. And there's an alley pointer Makedo kill by Keely Jones. She just split the seam, Derek.
She did. She just found that open spot deep in the back. Did a great job. It was a great set for her to be able to get there and see that, hit it in that direction.
13-12 is our score in set number 1. Red Oak leads, and this has been a seesaw back and forth a number of times here already in set number 1. Hit hard by Einesen. Bond is there. Ramirez sets DeVries. She pushes it across. Mueller to Einesen. Hit across by Schwezo. Point Tigers. It sells long. 14-12 is our score in set 1. Back to serve, Ramirez. Red Oak with the lead, 14-12. It's set number 1. Low and across the net. Great serve. Preston is there. Set goes to Rush. She hits it hard. Ramirez sets O'Neal. She hits it. Einesen is there. Chased by Muller. Just can't do anything with it. That pass to the net, Derek. We've talked about it all season.
Yep, that was a good job by the Tigers to feed the ball to the middle and get that kill.
15-12. 15-12. Red Oak with the lead. Set number 1. Ramirez serves into the back row to Stork. There's Einesen up front, pushed across by Rust. Hit hard by Schwezo. That would be a kill. Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill by Schwezo.
Yeah, just a little overpass from the Tigers there, and Harlan took advantage of it. Just this time in the season, those kind of mistakes are going to come back and get you.
Tornaton back to serve for the Cyclones. 15-13 is the score. Little short serve. Bond is there, set to Boswell. She hits it into the back corner. Schwezo taps it. It bounces off of some of the apparatus up top. Almost made a basket, Derek.
Almost, yeah. Yeah.
And it falls to the floor. Point goes to the Tigers. It's 16-13. Red Oak leads set 1.
This is about that point in the game where you would expect one of these teams to start to go on a little bit of a run and create a bit of a lead here.
Into the back row to Stork. Mueller. Set hit hard by Schwezo. It's out.
Yeah, that was a great setup by Harlan, just a bit outside, and Red Oak's going to keep serving here.
And it's 17-13. Timeout on the court, Derek. We'll take it with them. 17-13. You're back to Red Oak Orange Gymnasium. Set number 1. Red Oak leads 17-13. That, I believe, is the biggest lead of the set so far.
I think that is the biggest lead we've seen here tonight so far.
I think it is. It's been pretty close up to this point, and back and forth. A number of lead changes here in set number 1. Bond serve into the back row to Stork. Up front, Mueller set to Rush. She hits it across. Bond passes it to the net. Set to Gray. She hits it hard and gets the point for the Tigers. Nice hit.
That's an Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill by Marley Gray there.
It's 18-13. Tigers getting, like you mentioned, that run, Derek, and this Tigers seem to be getting a bit of a run going here. Little short serve. Rust is there. Mueller pushes it back across the net. Dump set by Ramirez. Rust hit across the net by Schwezo. Set to Gray. Misses out. Point goes to the Cyclones.
Yeah, just a little long. Tigers were out of system there again, having to do a bump set to get that over to Marley. We'd like to see them tighten that up just a little bit, I think.
And Reichel back to serve. Siebenecker digs it, passes it up front. Hit. That is Jocelyn O'Neal with the Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill.
Yeah, that was a great little play there. As the Tigers are out of, in their serve-receive transition. Merced just did a great little back set up to the right side, and Jocelyn knocked it down.
19-14, Red Oak leads set 1, served by O'Neal. Set to Russ, hits it hard. Tigers keep it alive, free ball across the net, Jenkins. Mueller, Rust, Ramirez is there. Siebenecker passes it up front, hit across by Boswell. Off of the hands of the Cyclones, point goes to the Tigers.
That was a good job by the Tigers there. We had an Arlington Place block earlier in that piece, and then we had the Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill there.
Good job, Derek. 20-14 is our score. O'Neal serves to Tornaton. Set goes to Einesen. She hits it across. Ramirez to Boswell. Dug out by Tornaton, pushed across by Mueller. Set to Gray. She taps it across.
Yeah,
just not really a hard hit, Derek.
Yeah,
just kind of hits the open spot.
Marley did a good job there, just doing a body basics adjustment there. And on her hit, just kind of dialing back a little and hitting the open spot on the floor.
There's a timeout. 21-14. Red Oak leads set one, and we'll be right back after this. Would encourage you to make note of our sponsors and say thank you when you have the opportunity, both on air, on broadcast, and streaming online. Say thanks when you can. Nice serve by O'Neal. That's going to be an ace serve.
That's a
Milestone Financial ace serve by O'Neal. Jocelyn having a great first set here, Derek.
Hopefully she can cash in on another one here.
Milestone Financial ace serve. Dan and Denise and all the folks. Passed up front, tapped across by Rust. Ramirez sets Jenkins. What do we have? A net violation on the Cyclones.
Yes.
Point Tigers, 23-14, set number one. Red Oak with the lead. And back to serve O'Neal. Jocelyn having a nice little run here from behind the service line for the Tigers. Serve. Across the net. Tornaton passes it up front. Mueller set to Einison. That's a big hit right there. Off of the hands of the Tigers.
Yeah, the Tigers were in position with a block there. We had Haley Ryberg check into the game at middle for the Tigers, and both her and Olivia were right there.
How tall is Haley? She's 5'9". She's tall. Up front it goes. Hit by Gray. It goes off of the hands of the Cyclones. I think a little miscommunication maybe on that.
Yeah,
Derek,
definitely not sure who's going to take the ball there. And
24-15 is set point. Set one, Red Oak with the lead. And back to serve is Alexis Joint for the Tigers. 24-15, set point. Into the back row it goes. Passed up front. Mueller. Hit by Einison off of the Tigers.
Yeah, that was really a very good play by the Cyclones. They had a tight pass to the net, and their setter was able to pick it up in a little bit quicker tempo, and they slammed the ball down there for the kill.
Here he goes. Mueller with the serve. Dug out Siebenecker up front. Set to Gray. It's long, and the point goes to the Cyclones, 24-17. Set one. Red Oak lead. Still set point. Macy Mueller back to serve. She's a junior, 5'7" junior for the Cyclones. Siebenecker. Joint sets Ramirez. She hits it across. And it goes out of play off of the hands of the Cyclones. Set number one, Red Oak wins 25-17. And we will be back with set number two right after this. BJJ's coming back to you, Derek?
Not for this one.
This is not it. You don't know this one,
No,
huh?
I don't.
Coach Kip's got it cranked up in there, doesn't he?
Does.
Wow.
He's blasting it.
He is rocking it in here tonight. Red Oak leads 1-0. Winner advances, loser goes home. That's where we're at. Here we go. Tigers will serve to start set number 2. And Nicole Bond back to serve for Red Oak. Into the back row, Einesen to Mueller. Set to Monson. She taps it across. Point Cyclones.
Yeah, if I were Harlan's coach, I would have been talking about the tempo and doing a body basics adjustment there just to pick up the pace a little bit. They had some success in that first set when they ran a little quicker set and pass tempo, and I think that's what they need to do here to be successful in this set number 2.
Serve from Einesen's received by the Tigers. Set to Jones. Down ball across the net. There's Monson. Mueller. Set to Preston. Hit across. Point Cyclones.
Yeah, just a little confusion by the Tigers there on who should have taken that ball in the back row. That happens once in a while, but this is the postseason. We need to tighten that up a little bit too.
Here we go. Einesen to serve into the back row. There's Ramirez. Joint set to Ramirez. And we're going to have an alley pointer Maquetto kill.
Yeah, good job just there with the Tigers there, getting the ball where they needed it to in system. And Merced, a senior, knocking the ball down there for the kill and the point for the Tigers.
2-1 is our score. Hart Cyclones lead. And what I think rotational thing. I think maybe a rotation error.
Yeah, he's the down ref is calling somebody moved to a spot on the floor they weren't supposed to during the serve there. So
tied up at 2 apiece. Set number 2. Back to serve is Ramirez for Red Oak. Into the back row. Stork to Mueller. Set to Schwezo. She hits it across. Tigers are there. Boswell hits it back across. Mueller. There's Einesen. Hit across by Preston. Block.
Yeah, I'd say that's an Arlington Place block by Jocelyn and Keeley. They're teaming up for that, not letting the ball get past them there.
3-2 is our score. Now Red Oak gains the lead in set number 2. Ramirez back to serve for Red Oak. Into the back row. A serve. That's a Milestone Financial. A serve by Ramirez.
Yeah, Merced challenged that the back of that line there, and she's lucky that Harlan decided they were going to try and attempt to get that, but that's the advantage of getting the ball over versus hitting it into the net.
A little short serve this time by Ramirez. Misses out on the sideline, and the point goes to the Cyclones. 4-3 is our score in set number 2. Back to serve is Monson. Ava Monson, senior, middle hitter, 5'9", for the Cyclones. Into the back row, DeVries. Set from Ramirez. Free ball across the net. Jones, Monson up front. Mueller with the set. And it's going to be hit long. Kind of maybe a little out of position on that.
Yeah, definitely out of position.
They're going for a stack there, Derek? What were they doing?
Yeah, I think they're trying to do some sort of a quick or a short there to speed up the tempo, which is, I think, what they need to be doing. But
that'd be your body basic adjustment.
That's what I was saying should be the adjustment by body basics there.
5-3 is our score. Red Oak leads. Siebenecker serves into the back row. Preston. There's Einesen passing it up front. Down ball, Rust. Siebenecker to Ramirez. Set to Gray. And it's in. Alley Pointer Maquetto kill by Marley Gray. She went right down the line on that one.
She did. Marley's hit the line a couple of times. That's a great thing that she's added to her kind of arsenal there over the past couple games.
Siebenecker serves. That's Preston. Mueller tapped across by Rust, and that's a great job by Rust to identify the open spot and go to it.
Yeah, and it was wide open there on the floor. The Tigers are going to have to tighten that up just a little bit if they don't want to see that happen again.
It's 6-4. Red Oak leads set 2. Back to serve is Carly Tornaton, a sophomore, 5'4" sophomore. Into the back row, Bond to Ramirez, set to O'Neal, and bounces off a couple of Cyclones. They get it across the net, set to O'Neal, and that was a great little slide.
Yeah, definitely a slide there. Jocelyn gets the alley pointer Maquetto kill, and And Harlan, they reacted to that first hit she had there very well.
And Red Oak leads 7-4. O'Neal back to serve, low and into the net. Point Cyclones. 7-5 is our score. Coming into the ball game is Reichel, and back to serve Reichel for the Cyclones. Taking a seat is Schwiezo. Reichel serve into the back row to Siebenecker up front. Ramirez set to Boswell. She taps it across. Mueller hits it hard. Nice job by Mueller.
Yeah, that was a great job by Harlan to take advantage of the Tigers just dinking it across and not being as aggressive as they need to be. Just they're a little out of system, but Harlan takes advantage of it. And tell you what, this time of year you can't give too many of those freebies like that.
Emerson Reichel back to serve into the back row. Siebenecker set to Gray. Hit hard. Stork is there. Einesen. Free ball across the net. Rust passes it to the net. Set to Gray. Stork digs it. Up front. Set goes to Einesen. Down ball across the net. Ramirez with the dump set, and Reichel gets under it. This time Einesen hits it. Bond passes it up front. Set to Jenkins. She hits it across. There's Reichel right at the net. Jenkins hits it across. Tornaton gets under it. Set goes to Reichel, or Einesen rather. Gray takes a swing at it. Dug out back across the net. Stork. Here's Gray again. Bounces off the top ribbon and falls to the floor.
That was as good a volley as you're going to see this time of year too. Both teams playing excellent lights out defense, digging a lot of tough hits. You feel bad for a team like Harlan there that it taps the net and just rolls over because both teams played very, very well.
8-6 is the score. Serve across the net. There's Tornaton up front. Set goes to Rust. She hits it hard. Siebenecker passes it to the net. Hit across by Gray, but we're going to have a block, an Arlington Place block.
That was no question there from the Cyclones that was a block, and they weren't going to let Marley get that one.
8-7. Red Oak leads set 2. Serve into the back row. Stork. Hit across. Sells long. Point goes to the Cyclones, and we're all tied up.
We
at
are
8 apiece.
Tied up in set number 2 here. Again, very similar to set number 1, kind of back and forth. Someone gets a little lead, then they chip away at it. And
Cammie Stork serves back across the net. Hit by Monson. And pushed across the net this time by Gray. Mueller sets Monson. She hits it across. Siebenecker gets a hand on it, but can't do anything with it, and the point goes to the Cyclones, and the Cyclones lead in set 2.
Almost that entire volley there, Harlan had Red Oak kind of back on their heels for the whole piece.
Stork serves to Siebenecker. Set goes across the net, actually tapped across by the Cyclones. This time the set to Gray on the right side. Off of the hands of the Cyclones, they chase it down and can't get it back across the net, and the point goes to the Tigers.
Yeah, that's a great effort by Harlan there to try and keep that ball alive and get any opportunity they can to keep the rally going.
And we're tied up at 9 apiece now. Jones into the game. Siebenecker takes a seat, and Marley Gray back to serve for Red Oak. Low and across the net. Reichel passes up front to Mueller. Hit by Monson. Bond is there. Set to Jones over on the left side. She hits it across. Tornaton pushed across by Mueller. There's Gray to Joint at the net. Jenkins hits it. Point Tigers. Carly Jenkins with the alley pointer Marquetto kill. They're just taking a ball right in the middle of the net, hitting it hard. Harlan's defenders can't handle it, and it falls to the floor. Overall, the Tigers are still a really young team, Derek. They got a freshman and a sophomore at the net right now.
Yeah.
10-9, Red Oak leads. We have 2. I think that's the first 2-hit call we've had tonight.
It is called on Harlan there, and Red Oak's going to keep serving.
11-9 is the score. Red Oak leads set 2. Red Oak won set 1, 25-17. Red Oak leads set 2, 11-9, but it's been both ways. Ace serve.
Milestone financial ace by Marley Gray.
12-9, Red Oak leads. Gray back to serve. Here we go. Serve from Gray. Sails long, and the point goes to the Cyclones. 12-10, Red Oak leads. into the game, Preston, and out of the game, Tornaton. Back to serve is Mueller. Macy Mueller for Harlan. Junior, 5'7". Here we go. Mueller served low and across the net. Bond digs it, passes it up front. Set to Jones, Keeley Jones, and that misses out.
Yeah, Keeley trying to hit the line, which has been open tonight, just a little bit wide.
And it's 12-11 now. Red Oak leads by 1. Mueller serve sails long. Point goes to the Tigers. 13-11, set 2. End of the game, O'Neal taking a seat. Jenkins, and back to serve is Nicole Bond for Red Oak. Nicole, the libero for the Tigers. I would think she would be sore. Point sails long.
Who's that?
Nicole.
Yeah.
Because she just goes for it, Derek, and ends up on the floor. She's about 8 out of 10 plays.
Diving and rolling and sliding.
I would think her knees and her elbows would just be bruised from going for it. Serve received by Ramirez. Free ball across the net, Tigers. Up front, Mueller with the set to Preston. She taps it across. There's Joint. Set goes to Jones. Blocked, kept alive. We're going to have
probably a lift on the Tigers trying to keep that alive. But great effort by both teams there, and we are tied back up again.
At 13, that just ping-ponged off of a couple of Red Oak players, and they couldn't do anything with it. Einesen back to serve, middle portion of the service line, into the back row to Bond. Ramirez, Bond hits it across into the back row. Einesen, Mueller, set to Monson. She hits it across, and it's a kill. Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill for Monson. Ava Monson.
Harlan taking the lead here. This is that point in the match then we kind of talked about last time where one of these teams is maybe going to stretch it just a little bit here.
And Einesen, Samantha Einesen back to serve. Into the back row to Bond. Joint sets Ramirez on the right side. She hits it. Einesen off of the hands of the Cyclones, and the point goes to the Tigers.
Yeah, good job by the Tigers there just to find the open spot and keep it going, keeping it tied up.
Tied up at 14. Ramirez back to serve for Red Oak. Set number 2, tied up 14. Ramirez serve into the back row. Stork to Mueller. Set and hit hard. Nice hit by Schwezo. Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill by Schwezo.
That was a great job by Harlan in that just serve receive, getting the ball exactly where they wanted, and that's a little bit quicker tempo than what the Tigers have seen.
15-14, Cyclones lead. Served by Monson, received by DeVries. Ramirez hit across by Boswell. Monson passes to Mueller. Hit across by Rust into the back row to DeVries. Dump set by Ramirez. Rust taps it, and then hit across by the Cyclones, and the Tigers just can't get it, and Olivia went into the upright.
Yeah,
the pad.
The pad on the post there holding up the net. Harlan did a good job keeping the Tigers out of system on that volley right there, and that's what you want to do. Somewhere in that someone's going to make a mistake.
Monson back to serve for the Cyclones. Kind of a little short serve. Bond gets under it. Hit across by O'Neal. There's Mueller. Rust with the free ball across the net. DeVries passes to Ramirez. Set to O'Neal. She taps it down, but the Cyclones can't get it across.
Wow.
O'Neal jumped out of the gym to get that, Derek. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
She
Good
did.
night.
She did jump high, but man,
wow.
Harlan somehow stretches it out, and they're able to come up and keep the ball alive there. They just couldn't quite get it back over the net.
16-15 is our score. Harlan leads. We're in set 2. Serves from Siebenecker into the back row to Stork. Up front, set hit hard by Preston, but boy, Nicole Bond digs it right at the net. The overpass to the net, and the point goes to the Tigers, and we are tied up at 16.
Yeah, that was a good job by Nicole to dig that ball out and keep the play alive for the Tigers.
Siebenecker back to serve. Into the back row to Stork. Mueller sets Rust. I think we have
all right, gonna
two hits.
2 hits. All right.
Tigers lead 17-16. Set 2. Red Oak won set 1, 25-17. Red Oak leads set 2, 17-16. Siebenecker into the back row, off of the hands. Einesen, free ball across the net. Rust Siebenecker passes to the net, set to Gray, hit hard, it's in. That's an Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill.
Yeah, great job by the Tigers there. Perfect pass over to Merced, and then a great set to Marley there. She slams it down the line, and she has
serve from Siebenecker goes long, and the point goes to the Cyclones. 18-17. End of the game is Tornaton taking a seat. Hope Preston, and Carly Tornaton back to serve for the Cyclones. Into the back row, Bond. Ramirez sets Gray. She hits it across. It's kind of partially tapped and just falls to the floor, Derek, and the point goes to the Tigers.
Yeah, that's still an Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill there for Marley, but we'll take them any way we can get them, right?
19-17 is the score. Set number 2, Red Oak with the lead. O'Neill serving to the back row to Stork. Mueller set to Schwezo, and just kind of rolls right down the top of the net.
That is an Arlington Place block there by the Tigers, and it just rolls down the net and falls into play on the Harlan side.
20-17, Red Oak leads set 2. And O'Neill serves into the back row. Stork passes it right to the net.
I think they're going to call a net call on
the Tigers. It's on the Tigers. 20-18. Coming into the ball game is Reichel. Taking a seat is Schwezo. Reichel to serve. Emerson Reichel, she's a sophomore. Siebenecker receives it, passes it to Ramirez. Hit by Gray. Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill by Marley Gray.
Yeah, if
Marley is playing, Marley's getting some good hits tonight.
Yeah, she's getting some good sets, and then she is just nailing that line, and it has been open almost every time. I would be saying let's not make an adjustment on that and keep going down the line.
Now on Harlan's side, they should make a Body Basics chiropractic adjustment on that. Hit, blocked, point goes to the Cyclones. 21-19 is our score in set 2. Monson into the game, and Rust will take a seat for the Cyclones. Back to serve is Cammie Stork, a senior. One of the few seniors, really, that they have. Jenkins taps it across. Set to Einesen. It hits the upright.
Yeah,
the pin.
Antenna, whatever. I mean, I don't know that I'm going to correct you anymore when you say it.
I'm trying to. Derek he's on stress overload here tonight a little bit.
I don't know, overload.
Overload. What's your watch telling you to do, Derek? Calm down. Take a breath. Here we go. Serve from Gray. It misses out, and the point goes to the Cyclones.
Just a little long, but good job by Marley trying to attack that back line. That's been successful for the Tigers from a serving perspective here tonight.
Coming into the ball game is Preston, and taking a seat, Tornaton and
Kennedy.
DeVries.
Yeah, Kennedy DeVries coming in for the Tigers there in the back row.
Back to serve is Macy Mueller for the Cyclones. Bond receives. Set to Jones. She just free balls it across the net. Up front, Preston hits it across. What a shot, but just misses the side. She was kind of off balance and just almost parallel to the net.
Yeah, Harlan Coates wants to, if this were college, she'd be throwing the challenge card out there, because that's That was a close call, but looks like she wants a timeout, kind of regroup with her team here.
23-20 is our score in set number 2. Red Oak with the lead, and we will be back after this. Back to Red Oak. Red Oak won set 1, 25-17. Red Oak leads set 2, 23-20. But, Derek, this has been back and forth, both of these sets.
Definitely back and forth, and either team could still take control here of set 2.
Here we go. Bond back to serve for the Tigers into the back row, and that misses out. Point Cyclones, 23-21. That missed. I'm getting
challenged from
correct over here by our
it was out.
Our producer. It's received by Ramirez. Hit. Nice hit by Jocelyn O'Neill. Allie Pointer-Marketo kill.
Yeah, definitely an Allie Pointer-Marketo kill there by Jocelyn on that.
Cyclones get under it, but it bounces off and goes all the way to the back wall. She got all of that one.
She had some hang time on that one too.
24-21, set point. Stork to Mueller. Pushed across by Reichel. Kept alive by the Tigers. Pushed across this time Ramirez. Monson to Mueller. Hit by Preston. There's Bond keeping it alive. Set to Boswell. Preston back across the net. Ramirez passes it to Bond. Up front, set to Jones. Keely Jones.
Yeah.
Allie Pointer-Marketo kill. 25-21. Red Oak wins set number 2.
That was a great volley there to take that point. Nicole's on the ground, and Tigers out of system, and still Keely jumping up and slamming it down for the point and the set.
Red Oak leads 2-0 and volleyball action, and we'll be back after this. Red Oak, both teams on the court. Rock, paper, scissors going on over here, Derek, is what we have going on.
It is kind of fun when the opposing student sections get together for a little bit of a challenge there and entertainment for the fans.
You got some rock, paper, scissors. Looks like Harlan comes away with it. I got to say, I'm digging the blaze orange by Mr. DeVries over there.
Yeah, he's got it on for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so if I am advising for a body basics chiropractic adjustment here, if I'm their Harlan's coach, I'm telling them we got to make sure all the serves land in. We've got to be very, very efficient with the serving, and we definitely need to increase that tempo. They've kind of controlled the game from a standpoint of getting Red Oak back on their heels and out of system. Red Oak's just really good at that, but if they can increase that tempo a little bit, I think Harlan may sneak one out of here. Red Oak just needs to keep playing hard, keep digging, let Nicole keep throwing her body around on the floor there and keeping the ball in the air.
Serve received by the Tigers, hit across by Jenkins. There's Mueller. Up front it goes. Hit. Is that a block, Derek? Or
yeah, we're gonna call that a Arlington Place block. Might have had a little help from the net, but if they would have hit it above the net, it would have been blocked. So that's why we're going to call it a block.
Here we go. Red Oak leads 1-0. At the net, block kept alive. There is Preston. Hits it across. Set to Jones. Einesen to Mueller up front. Hit across by Schwezo. It goes out, and the Cyclones score. 1-1. Tied up at 1 apiece.
And that's exactly what you would probably expect based on the first 2 sets.
Absolutely. I would expect a number of lead changes here through about the first 15 to 17 points, at like the first 2 sets. Must win for the Cyclones. Hit by Ramirez down the line. It misses out, and Harlan with the lead.
That was a great shot there by Merced, though, down the line. That's what she needs to do on that right side. Just couldn't quite get it to land in.
Monson back to serve. Ava Monson for the Cyclones. Little short serve. There's Bond. She gets under it. Mueller. Set by Reichel. Kept alive by the Tigers. Free ball across the net. O'Neal. Up front, the Mueller right at the net. Hits, sets Rust. And the Tigers can't get it back across. And the Cyclones lead 3-1.
Yeah, there was definitely some great hustle there by both teams. Tigers just couldn't quite react the way they needed to there to keep that one going.
All right, here we go. And Ava Monson back to serve for the Cyclones. Cyclones lead 3-1 over the Tigers. Serve into the back row to Bond. Ramirez, free ball across the net. Bond. Set to Preston. She hits it across. Great shot by Preston.
Cross-court shot, found the open spot on the floor. Alexis kind of dove for it and still just couldn't come up with it. That was a great play by Harlan there.
4-1. Harlan leads set 3.
This is probably about the biggest lead Harlan's had in any set here tonight also.
Yeah, I think it may be. Monson back to serve. Little short serve. Ramirez is there. Set to Ramirez. She taps it across. Cyclones get under it. Down ball push across the net by Preston. Hit across by Jones. Monson passes to Mueller. Set to Preston. She hits it hard. Out of play. Off of the Tigers, and it's 5-1. Biggest lead of the night for sure by the Cyclones now. 5-1 set 3. Red Oak leads 2-0 on the evening.
So Red Oak needs to do a little body basics adjustment here in their serve receive and see if they can't change that tempo, change that momentum.
And serve from Monson into the back row to Joint. DeVries passes it up front, hit across by O'Neal, and it blocks off or taps off a couple of players, falls to the floor, and the point goes to the Tigers.
That'll work too.
Yeah. 5-2 is our score. Ramirez back to serve for Red Oak. And Merced serves from the kind of the right side of the service line into the back row. Preston. Set to Preston. Hits it across. There's Boswell to Ramirez. Set to Jones. Hits it hard. Mueller with the set to Einesen from the back row.
Yeah, the Tigers were there with the block. That was just a good hit by Harlan. They were very much in system. Setter did a great job of setting her hitter up there for a kill.
6-2 is our score. Harlan with the lead in set 3. Tornaton back to serve. Carly Tornaton. DeVries passes it to Ramirez. Set to O'Neal. Mueller sets Schwezo. Hit across by Mueller. DeVries passes it up front. Hit across by Boswell. Tornaton to Mueller. Set to Schwezo. Into the net, point Tigers.
That was some great volleyball by both teams right there. Harlan hesitating on whether they should let a ball go out of bounds or not, and wisely they chose to keep it going. And the Tigers right there with some good defense and some good transition.
Into the game, Gray taking a seat. DeVries back to serve Jones. Into the back row to Stork. Kept alive, and we're going to have a free ball across the net by Schwezo. Right up to the net. Bond hits it out. Point goes to the Cyclones. It's 7-3. Cyclones with the lead in set 3.
I think the Tigers just had a little bit of miscommunication there on speed of what they were trying to run, and Nicole just couldn't quite get the ball over, and a little bit of a recovery there.
Reichel back to serve for the Cyclones. 7-3. Cyclones lead set 3. Bond is there, set to Gray. Hits it across. There's an alley pointer Makedo kill.
Yeah, Marley's doing a great job in that outside position here tonight. That was a cross-court shot. Glanced off a Harlan defender and falls on the floor.
7-4 is the score. Cyclones lead. O'Neal back to serve. 7-4. Serve from O'Neal into the back row. Set to Rust. Off of the Tigers, falls to the floor, and the point goes to Harlan. It's 8-4. And Cammie Stork, the libero, back to serve for the Cyclones. Into the back row, Siebenecker. Set goes to Gray. Tornaton to Mueller. Pushed across the net by Einesen. Hit by Boswell. Kept alive by the Cyclones. Free ball across the net by Monson. Set to Gray. She hits it across.
Yeah. And again, good job by Marley with the alley pointer Makedo kill there. Kind of doing a quick change in her approach and not slamming it down, but using a little finesse there and getting the point for the Tigers.
8-5 is our score in set 3. Cyclones lead into the ball game. Joint out of the game. Boswell. What's the discussion taking place here, Derek?
I'm not sure. The
Coach Montgomery visiting with the official, and I think we're worked out.
Yep, just maybe a rotation question there on the check-in there and who's serving. So
Joint back to serve. Misses out. Point goes to Harlan. 9-5 is our score.
Harlan is doing a good job this set, kind of clinging to that 4-point lead that they got there right at the beginning, and they haven't, even with the teeter-tottering back and forth, just haven't let that up yet.
Mueller to serve into the back row to Siebenecker. She passed it right to the net, and Merced pushes it across. Into the back row to Siebenecker. Nice job there by the Cyclones to find the open spot, and it's a 5-point lead for Harlan. 10-5 is our score. Cyclones wanting to get a victory here.
They're doing a good job keeping Red Oak out of system there. You know, we just aren't getting things with the passes and the sets the way we need to at this particular point.
Up front, set goes to Jenkins. This time the set to Einesen. She hits it hard. Samantha Einesen's going to get the alley pointer Makedo kill.
Yeah, again, Harlan taking a page from Red Oak and slamming the ball down the line there from that outside spot.
Back to serve is Mueller. Into the back row, Siebenecker. Hit by Gray, but it misses out. Tigers just a little off here in set 3, Derek. It's 12-5. Big lead now for the Cyclones here in set 3.
Yeah, definitely the biggest that we've seen all year from a Harlan team against the Tigers here.
Serve from Mueller to Siebenecker. Up front, set goes to Jenkins. And the Cyclones can't get it back across. That kind of just ping-ponged and glanced off of about half the team, it looked like.
Just rolled a little way down the net, and they were able to get some chicken wings on it, but not able to come away with anything.
Have we had a cheeseburger tonight?
I haven't seen a cheeseburger,
Got a few chicken wings. There was one, I thought, a jelly roll a minute ago. Into the back row to Stork. Einesen pushes it across. There's Bond. Tapped across by Merced. And Merced, again, not a power play, a finesse play, and just goes to the open spot.
Yeah, and that's what a senior does, and they find the open spot on the floor, and it doesn't have to be just a hard hit every single time.
12-7 is the score. Cyclones lead. Mueller pushed across by Preston. Set to Jenkins. She taps it across. There's Einesen. Mueller pushes it to the back row. Joint. Set to Jones. Stork passes it up front. Pushed across by Mueller again. DeVries. Joint to Jones. Hit hard off of the Cyclones, and the point goes to the Tigers.
Yeah, good job by the Tigers, actually. Just staying with it there. Keep plugging away. Keeley with the hard hit, and the block just sails out of bounds. Side out for the Tigers.
12-8's our score. Harlan leads set 3. DeVries with the serve. Einesen to Mueller. Set, tapped across by Monson. Tigers can't do anything with it. That's not a hard hit again, more of a finesse play, and the Tigers can't get it across the net. 13-8's our score. Back to serve is Einesen. Samantha Einesen. DeVries to Joint, set to Jones. She hits it across. Preston right at the net, kept alive by Ramirez. Joint sets Jones. Einesen passes it back to the net, pushed across by Monson. Kept alive by the Tigers. We have a net violation, I believe.
That was just great hustle by both teams there. Coach Montgomery wants a timeout here. I think it's good to just kind of try and reset some of that momentum Harlan has.
14-8's our score. Harlan leads, and we will be back with set 3 right after this. Red Oak, make note of our sponsors here this evening, if you would, and say thank you when you have the opportunity for making it possible for us to be here and have high school sports, volleyball action. Class 3, Region 3, Round 1 volleyball.
Good job.
This evening.
Yeah, good job.
You know what? There's a lot of good volleyball. If you're, like we said it in the pregame, Derek, if you're a volleyball fan, this is a fun time.
Yeah, definitely great time of year if you're a volleyball fan.
Here we go. Serve from Einesen into the back row to Bond. Joint set to Ramirez. There's Mueller. Hit across and blocked by Schwezo. That's going to be a Arlington Place block by the Tigers.
You bet it is. And well timed after that timeout for the Tigers to come back and hopefully pick up some momentum here. 14-9 is our score. Harlan leads set 3. Red Oak leads 2-0 on the evening. Carly Jenkins back to serve into the back row. We're going to have an ace serve. There's a milestone financial ace by Carly Jenkins. Carly is, you don't normally see her serving. I think we could call this a body basics adjustment from set 2 to set 3 here, and something Coach Montgomery's trying just a little bit different here.
Carly's a sophomore, and I think Carly has had tremendous growth this season. At the net, Cyclones, we're going to have a down ball across the net. Out point Tigers. From the first game we watched this year, Derek, to now, Carly's had I think a lot of growth in her game.
Yep, she's come a long way this year, playing that other opposite middle position from Jocelyn and doing a great job.
Serves into the back row. Up front, set and pushed across. That was Schwezo.
Yeah, she found just, again, jumped up in the air, kind of saw the open spot, and it tapped down on the floor with precision. Killed the little run the Tigers were on there.
And here we go. Ava Monson back to serve. Serves long, and the point goes to the Tigers. 15-12. It's a 3-point contest.
Monson has been aggressive with her serving all night long here for the Harlan Cyclones, and she's going to get some of those to drop here eventually.
Here's Ramirez. Serve into the back row to Stork. Mueller sets Preston. There's a block, an Arlington Place block.
Yeah, I think Keeley and Jocelyn teamed up there for the Arlington Place block, and falls onto the court inbounds. Point to their Tigers.
And Ramirez back to serve for Red Oak. 15-13. Cyclones lead. Mueller set to Preston. Another block, but the Cyclones this time handle it. Up front, set goes to Jones. She taps it across to the open spot. There's a finesse play from Keeley.
Definitely finesse there, but hard work there by Nicole. You talked about her being sore earlier
I think she's
on the floor, but
yes,
people got to remember she's a state wrestler at 125 for the girls. So
serve low and into the net. Point Cyclones. 16-14 is our score in set 3. Cyclones lead. Red Oak leads 2-0 on the evening. Back to serve is Carly Tornaton, sophomore for the Cyclones. DeVries to Ramirez, dump set by Ramirez, but Cyclones are there. Rust pushes it across, off of the net, free ball across the net by the Tigers. Heads up play for Red Oak. Rust hits it this time, but it goes into the net, and the point goes to Red Oak, and it's a 1-point set here.
Both teams very much out of system on that particular volley. Red Oak getting lucky coming away with the ball in the net there by the Cyclones.
17-15 is the score. Harlan leads set 3. Serve across the net, received by Stork. Free ball across the net, Mueller. Bond passes to Ramirez, set to Gray. We're going to have an Allie Pointer-Maquetto kill by Gray.
Again, that line shot by Marley has been there all night long, and she is taking advantage of it. Looks like Harlan wants to talk about it here at 16-16 in set number 3.
We'll be back after this. Tied up at 16. Now the Cyclones led, I think, by 7.
They were up by 7 there at one point, and pretty well in control. Sometimes those, as the rotations move on the floor, you just get into a spot where it doesn't quite work. And Red Oak's done a good job just kind of clawing back here.
Yes.
Harlan's coach wanted to talk about it and make sure that their season is not ending here in this set number 3.
And that's what it is, Derek. That's where we're at. When you lose, it's over this time of year. Serve from Jones, received by the Cyclones. Right at the net. Gray keeps it alive. Set to Gray. She hits it across. Stork is there. Passes it up front right to the net. Across, out of play. Point Red Oak, and Red Oak gains the lead now, 17-16.
With a freshman at the service line, so see if she can keep it up here.
Keely Jones serving for the Tigers. Into the back row to Stork. Up front it goes, set to Russ. She hits it into the back row. Jones is there. Ramirez sets Boswell. She taps it across. Kept alive. Stork with the free ball across the net. Jones passes it to the net to Ramirez. And O'Neill hits it across. Into the back row to Bond. Right to the net. Again, that overpass, it's a hard one to handle.
It is tough. Merced did her best trying to pop the ball up there and keep it in play. Just sailed out of bounds here on the side here with the down ref.
We're tied up at 17 apiece now in set number 3. In and back to serve is Emerson Reichel for the Cyclones. Into the back row to Bond. Up front, set to Boswell. She pushes it across. Hit across by Mueller. Bond to Ramirez. Set to Gray. Tornaton is there. Mueller with the set to Einison, but doesn't make it across the net, and the point goes to the Tigers.
Yeah, at this stage in the set and in the match, you need to minimize those mistakes. Both teams need to bring as much of their A game as they can here for the rest of this set.
O'Neill back to serve for the Tigers. Low and across the net. Stork passes to Mueller. Set to Rust. She taps it across. That was a nice heads-up play by Rust.
Yeah, that was a tight pass to the net. Harlan setters have done a great job with that all night long, popping the ball up and then, just finding that open spot on the floor again with a little bit of finesse in that tap. Keeping themselves alive here at 18-18 in set number 3.
Cami Stork back to serve for the Cyclones. Siebenecker passes to Ramirez. Set to Jenkins. It misses out, and the point goes to the Cyclones, and the Cyclones lead 19-18 in set 3.
Yeah, Tigers did a good job setting up Carly there for that shot down the middle. Just a little bit long on the hit.
Cami Stork again back to serve for the Cyclones. There's Siebenecker. Ramirez set to Boswell. She hits it to the back row. Stork is there. Up front sent to Einison. Down ball across the net. Einison set to Gray. Off to the hands of the Cyclones. Point Red Oak.
Marley Gray is having an excellent game here tonight. She is hitting hard, and the defenders are not able to handle it. That one coming from the middle of the court and just falling down on the side in play for the Tigers.
Joint back to serve. Passed up front, Mueller sets Monson. She hits it across. Tigers get it across the net somehow. Goodness. Up front, right at the net, Einesen. There's Gray to Jenkins. She hits it across to the back row and right to the back line.
Yeah.
Allie Porter-Marketo kill.
Great hustle by both teams there. Tigers keeping the ball alive, getting it up to Carly. She gets that hit across, and it falls in bounds for the Tigers and the point.
Red Oak leads 20-19 in set 3. Red Oak leads 2-0 on the evening. Back to serve is Joint. Into the back row. It's going to be received by Reichel. Hit across in by Monson. There's Siebenecker. Set goes to Gray. Whoa. Big hit by Marley
she's
Gray.
just getting better and better on that outside spot, hitting the line. That one was hard, very hard hit ball by Marley Gray for the Tigers.
that was a hit.
Looks like we're going to have a substitution here for the Cyclones coming in. And
goodness, Marley has just been hitting it tonight. Big Allie Porter-Marketo kill. 21-19, Red Oak leads by 2. Hit into the back row, up to the net, out of play, point, Red Oak. Ace serve. It's going to be an ace serve, Milestone Financial ace serve for the Tigers.
And Harlan's coach wants to talk about it here. Going to have a quick timeout.
We'll take it with them. Red Oak leads 22-19, and we'll be right back. Back looks like Clarinda won in 3, 25-16, 18, and 13, Derek. So Clarinda over Clark in 3. The winner of this game will take on Clarinda. Ace serve, Derek. Another ace serve, Milestone Financial ace serve by the Tigers.
Yeah, Alexis just dialing it in, kind of hitting the back right corner there that hasn't been attacked too much tonight from the service line.
And it's 23-19. Low and across the net, we have another
Milestone Financial ace
serve, and it's match point now. 24-19, Red Oak leads. Harlan led by 7 at one point in this set, Derek.
Yes, they did, and we're looking at volleyball.
And here you go, Alexis Joint back to serve again. Into the back row, Stark. Tapped down by Jenkins, kept alive. Mueller. Set to Monson. She hits it across. Dump set by Ramirez. Mueller with the set to Einesen. Big hit. And that is it. 25-19. Red Oak with the victory. Red Oak and Clarinda here on Thursday night. Derek, give me some thoughts.
A great job by the Tigers there, keeping the momentum going and making something of every single play out there, even when they were out of system. Great job by Harlan, though. I mean, these were both Hawkeye 10 teams. They have a couple of seniors out there wanting everything they can to take that last game.
And we will take a break, and we will be back with the Rex's Plumbing postgame show right after this. And Derek, I would comment too, folks online, Coach Montgomery, that, by the way, is her 400th victory.
400. I mean, that's pretty darn amazing. We were trying to figure out if she coached anywhere else before she came to Red Oak there as an assistant to add to that total. But that's
her 400th. You and I texted about that earlier this week and didn't say anything about it, but it's her 400th career victory. Congratulations to Coach Montgomery.
Yeah, that's an excellent achievement there.
Step away, and we'll be right back after this. to Red Oak, the Rex's Plumbing postgame show. Tigers advance down the tournament trail. They win in 3 over Harlan, 25-17, 25-21, 25-19. And along the way, Coach Montgomery picks up her 400th career victory.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Great achievement there for Coach Montgomery and the Tigers here tonight. And fun little celebration going on the court. The girls have given her a ball and I think made a sign. And great achievement and good job by the Tigers here tonight.
You know, Derek, I would say too that Red Oak, those first 2 sets, back and forth, teeter-totter, back and forth through those first 3 sets, and Red Oak took over and got the victory. Set number 3, Harlan led by 7 points.
Yeah, Harlan
in set 3, and Red Oak they were just not going to be denied.
Yeah, Red Oak did a good job digging deep and coming back. You know, they made a few adjustments there. Seeing a couple of different kids serving with Keely Jones and also Carly Jenkins doing some serving duties there in that 3rd set that they normally haven't done during the season. So Coach did a good job making some adjustments and coming through and getting that victory for the Tigers, moving on against Clarinda now Thursday night here in Red Oak. Clarinda defeating Clark, so we will face them here in 2nd round Thursday night.
Yep, that'll be taking place. And one of the traditions that's kind of taken place over the last few years here is this Take Me Home Country Road, John Denver. Everyone, if you're watching online, you can see that now taking place. So kind of a fun tradition, fun atmosphere here in the evening, here this evening as well. It's the Rex's Plumbing postgame show. We're going to take a quick break, and hopefully we have the opportunity. Coach Montgomery getting a lot of congratulations, as she should, on her 400th career victory. We'll be right back after this. Post-game show, and Alexis joined with us. Okay, Alexis, big victory tonight. First 2 sets, you guys about midway in the set just took over and controlled the set. That 3rd set, I was a little nervous. Tell me about your perspective on the court.
With the 3rd set,
Or just a game overall.
we worked very well together. I think we have some new things that we've been trying to run, and I think we ran them well tonight. And we played for each other, and we said leave it all out on the court tonight, and I think we did.
You guys never seemed concerned or worried. You guys were just taking it all as it comes.
Yep.
A great game tonight. I thought everyone played particularly well. I mean, I just thought it was a great performance overall.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yes, I agree with you.
Were you nervous on some of those last serves there?
Well, I was in this position against Clarinda.
Yeah.
Not our regional game, but the game before that.
Yeah.
And I was back on the service line like in a close game just like that. And
You're a pro. You're a pro, Alexis.
guess
You're a pro. Nicole Bond with us as well. Nicole, how are you doing? How are the knees and the elbows? Are they good?
I'm good.
So we talked about, Nicole, I think your effort on the court is remarkable.
Thank you.
It is remarkable. Are you having fun?
Yeah, I'm always having fun.
So tell me from your perspective tonight, you just were not going to let those balls drop.
Yeah, like Alexis said, we had determined before, we're going to go all out. We're going to leave everything on the court.
That's what you did.
Yep.
Anybody that you would comment on? Other players on your team that you thought played well?
Other players, I think Marley did a great job swinging on the outside. Her
Yes.
hits are just so good.
Yes, they were phenomenal tonight. You did well from the service line. You guys played solid as a team. You played good net play. You dug the ball well. I just thought it was a great performance.
Yeah, it was really good.
Having fun?
Yeah.
Are you ready for Clarinda Thursday night?
Oh yeah,
we're ready.
All right, guys. Nice to see you both. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Again, Alexis Joint and Nicole Bond with us from the Red Oak Tigers. And we are going to have the opportunity now to visit with the head coach of the Red Oak Tigers in the Rex's Plumbing postgame show. We are going to have now Coach Montgomery. I think that's the right one, Coach.
I can hear you.
All right, Coach. What a game. Coach.
Yes. Can you hear
okay.
me? There
yes,
we go.
I got
there
you.
we go. I can hear you now.
Let's start here, Coach.
Yeah.
Congratulations on 400 victories.
Well, that's 400 victories that are all about the kids. So I told the girls, like, I remember where I was, like the 200th, the 300th. I mean, those were like, and obviously 100 was pretty darn big as a young coach too. But yeah, you remember those moments, and
Coach,
it's fun.
That's a big deal. Now, Derek and I had texted earlier in the week if this, if Coach Montgomery wins.
I know.
And we didn't mention it because, you don't want to. But congratulations.
Thank you.
That is a real benchmark that very few people achieve.
You know what? I'm very, very proud of it. I obviously it's a result of having great people that surround me. I mean, I actually had tons of former players here. I saw Dana Marsden is here. Obviously, Sierra's on my bench with me.
Yeah.
I'm really blessed to have great people that I get to work with every day, and just a fabulous group of kids year in and year out. I had players when we were FaceTiming with Lexi Johnson on the bench before the game.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that just make the job worth it. The wins are fun, but it's the memories and the connections that you make with kids and families that you do it well,
really
Coach. Fantastic.
You do it well. Let's talk about volleyball.
Yeah.
Okay,
yay.
Coach. So I mentioned to the girls, and you would probably those first two sets through about the first 15 points.
Yeah.
Back and forth, tight, and then you just took control.
Yeah, I said to somebody else, I never really felt we were out of control.
Yeah.
We've been working on that confidence and that next point mentality, mindset reset, which, in tough spots, that'll take us far.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to trust in our training. We do the skills right. We can do them right consistently. We don't have to be perfect. We just have to be pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And we're pretty darn good on those skills. So the mindset stuff can make a huge difference. And we were tight, and you never saw our kids get tight. The score was tight, was what I meant. So
yeah, and then in set number 3, Coach, you were down by 7.
Yeah, we.
And then, but again, there was never the feeling that you're out of control, or that this is slipping away.
Yeah,
you just kept playing.
Yep. And one thing these guys do so well, we talked yesterday about calling cards. What do we want to be known for? And I thought the relentless defense, the scrappiness. We played a really tough match with Norwalk this weekend in the finals. And, again, their coaches, their kids don't have any idea who we are, what we do. Mm-hmm. And I had both of their head and their assistant both just come out how do you guys keep things playable? And those are the things you want to be known for.
Yes.
And that's a huge compliment.
Yeah.
We're going to have big kills. We're going to have those, but those little plays where you thought the ball was dead and you just don't give up, those are huge. We had a lot of those tonight. So.
Those are momentum swings.
They
too.
are.
They certainly are.
And there was even that one, I don't know if it was in the first set, where we pulled it out and it ended up being a lift on us. Was that in the first set? But it's we lost the point.
I think that was.
Yeah.
We lost the point, but you wouldn't have known based on our
right.
celebration. There was a ball that Kennedy, there was no way she was going to get that up, but she sprawled out on the floor over here by the R. Again, those hustle plays that show you're not going to give up on any ball.
Right.
And those things will take us far. So we're excited.
So, Coach, and then I don't know. I thought your team overall played well tonight.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought Marley Gray had a phenomenal night.
Oh, she went off. She had a night.
She had a night.
She did, and she just says as of late is she's ready to just put the team on her back and give me the ball, feed me the ball, which is a great mentality for her.
So at nights like tonight, keep feeding her, Coach.
She had 15 kills tonight in 3 sets. That's big.
Yeah, it is.
And I thought Nikki dug phenomenally in the backcourt. You know, she got some great digs up for us. We had a few too many service errors. We'll address those a little bit tomorrow. But some huge aces down the line from Lex.
Oh, no kidding.
Such gutsy on those game on the last couple points, just to serve aggressive and just, get after it.
But
So,
I just thought, overall, Coach, I thought your team played well as a team.
Yeah,
They
thank
never
you.
seemed rattled, even though they were down.
Yep.
They never seemed rattled. They just came back and played ball.
Yeah.
They just played
Yep.
ball.
Yeah, thank
Which
you.
is where you
That's-
want them to be this time of year.
Absolutely, we want them to be there. Yep.
Stats, statistic-wise, what do you see, Coach?
Well, like I said, Marley led us with 15 kills. Jossie had 6 on 10 attempts. Merced and Olivia both had 4. Liv had 4 in that first set.
Yeah.
All 4 of hers came in that first set. I thought she came to play. And this weekend had some great points, too, where it just was ready to go quick in that seam. And that's gonna only help our balance there. Keely added 4. Carly added 5. Let's see. Merced had 21 assists. Lex had 12. Diggs, Nikki led us with 15. Emily with 8. Marley with 8. 7 for Merced. 6 for Kennedy. And then, I thought our block was on fire, too, tonight. A lot of block touches and good things there. So
we're having fun tonight.
Yes.
We'll be back here Thursday.
We'll be back here Thursday. I know.
That's a big one, Coach.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. We'll be ready. I know. You're never so excited then to be able to say, hey, we get to practice tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because nothing's guaranteed at this point.
So you have to play.
Yep.
You have to show up and play.
Absolutely. We'll be ready Thursday.
Coach, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Congratulations on 400 victories.
That's huge.
That's pretty cool. Thanks, Coach.
You. Thanks so much, guys.
Head coach of the Red Oak Tigers, Angie Montgomery, with us. And as always, our thanks to Coach Montgomery for her time and always making a few minutes to visit with us. That's her 400th career victory. It's the Rex's Plumbing post-game show. Derek, thoughts here?
Yeah, I think let's get to Thursday. Let's play that game now. I'm excited, and I thought Red Oak played really, really well. And as Coach Montgomery mentioned there, just all of the out-of-system scrappy playing that they had, with all of the digs from Nicole and everything, great job just being able to pull that out and to persevere. And particularly you see a set 3 where Coach mentioned some service errors. So we had 2 new players coming to the line, serving in a varsity game with Carly Jenkins and Keely. So being able to see those kids step up on the service errors, that's really good. And then, come back from that deficit and take that third set and the win here tonight. So looking for more of that Thursday night against Clarinda.
We'll see you again Thursday, Derek.
Yes, you will.
It's the Rex's Plumbing postgame show. And again, a wrap-up. Red Oak gets the victory in 3, 25-17, 25-21, 25-19. Red Oak advances, and Harlan's season comes to an end. We will see you again on Thursday, right back here at the Orange Gym. That's going to do it for the Rex's Plumbing postgame show. Thanks to Derek O'Neill for all his fine commentary, to Melanie West for running all of our production studio, and for Lori Lathrop taking care of things